All right, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, November 12th. What's going on? What's going on? We are going to briefly run through the indices and the metals real quick. I got a couple things I need to do, and then I've got to catch our Uber out to the airport. So I'm going to update you later on the currencies. If I get a chance, I'm not going to have the time now to run through all the currencies. The JPY completely crashed last night, so the JPY is very weak right now. So anything with the JPY on the right has gone up. So we'll kind of take a look what the market does today. All right, so FYI, there's a lot of news expected today. The government shutdown vote, from my understanding, begins later this afternoon. We'll probably head into the evening hours if they settle anything. So keep an eye out for that. All right, keep an eye out for that. But let's kind of take a look to see what a couple of these sessions have done here. Let's start with crude oil. Okay, let's start with crude oil. Okay, so you guys took that buy yesterday. Congratulations. And then I just looked at it this morning. So we're getting a rejection again right around this Fibonacci area that happened right here at about 61 or so. Okay, so if we take a look at the daily right now, okay, we're definitely down for the day so far when it comes to crude oil. Now, let's take a look real quick at the sessions. Remember, very rarely do you have 3 straight sessions in the same direction. Okay, so pre-London was pretty much red, and then London was red. So we are anticipating that crude oil at some point during the U.S. session does need to give us a push up. Doesn't mean it has to fully finish green, but there has to be at least 1 to 2 hours of a candle going up on crude oil. Okay, so that being said, let's drop a fib level right here. And we may have missed a little bit ago the opportunity. So we had crude oil come down into our 88. I would let the market open. I do see liquidity sitting right here at 88. That is where I would target the next buy. If I was going to buy up just from one level to one level, that's the buy that I would look for there. Okay. Just because of the 2 straight sessions down, this 7 o'clock is not yet considered U.S. session. So I would look for U.S. to drop further down a little bit and then try to pick up a buy. A sell from here, okay, is a little risky at this point, only because when you look at the 4-hour, look at the difference. Okay, the 4-hour did come here. They did take out liquidity of the higher time frame candle. So I would still be willing to say any push down into the 88 fib, you can look to buy. Okay, this is 20 to 30 points. Okay, and you got to be watching it or protecting it. Okay, so that's the way I would target crude oil today. All right. Thanks, Z. It's only going to be a few. Tomorrow is Thursday, so I'll be landing in Spain at 6 a.m. Spain time. So do not anticipate a live tomorrow, because I'll probably head right into the house that I rented and probably go right to bed for a few hours. But if I get up, later in the afternoon or something, and I'm not walking around, I'll do something for tomorrow, which is going to be Thursday. Yeah, maybe Thursday afternoon if I get a chance. If not, we'll reconvene at some point. All right, so that is crude oil. All right, let's take a look at natural gas. Okay, congratulations to everybody who took natural gas to the top side. But guess what? That is now over. So is there a sell? Remember, I don't like natural gas too much selling, especially with all this cold weather that we are having. Florida broke like 32 records yesterday. So we're starting to see all the impact of snow, which means there'll be more of a demand for natural gas. So that is a floor. That is a top right now for natural gas. Okay, I do see unmet liquidity here. So I would say 40.40. If you want to try to take a short on natural gas, it appears that this gap down here did close. Okay, so I would not presume that. You might be able to get a retracement down on natural gas. So if you were going to trade natural gas, let me take a look at something. Okay, so we are showing signs that we're consolidating. Okay, so if natural gas does push up, okay, if natural gas does push up, I would still look to short it down to the blue line. Okay, if it doesn't just melt from here. So let's just do this for those people that need to see a visual. This is the way you would, from right here, this is the way you would play this. Okay, the goal is to get back down to where price left, which is here. Okay, doesn't always work out that way, but that's eventually the goal. Okay, I think 4.40 looks pretty good, so that's a nice chunk of pips. Somewhere between here and here, yeah, it's a good number of pips there. So look for that today within that area. Yeah, I ain't running for no bulls, buddy. I see what happens to those people. Yeah, no, I'll be on the side. Um, I'll be on the side watching. I'm too old for that kind of stuff. That is funny though. That is funny. All right, take a look at gold. Congrats to those of you yesterday that took this from up here down to the blue line. I think I said 20, 30 pips, but it was more. Okay, so I'm going to leave this area here because the yellow box has not been breached. All right, so we made a low. We did not make a higher high. We made a little bit of a lower low, and we did not make a higher high. So again, today could be crazy with news, but right now this chart is still good. If gold was to pump up one more time and doesn't break, I would then sell right back down. Okay, so these will be now the levels for gold if it doesn't go all the way down. All right, so I would stay short on gold, but I would wait for the market to move up right now because it looks like we are possibly trending up. If you're going to buy gold, then you have to use, if you're going to buy gold, from here, it would almost have to be, let me move this over. Okay, so that was the sell. If you're going to buy gold, it would almost have to be like this. Below this, back up to this line. All right, so there's a couple scenarios depending on which side of the house you feel best on. We've got a lot of rejection here. I'm going to set an alert up here. Okay, hopefully I can get some Wi-Fi on the plane. For 8.5 hours, I got to do something. So if we go up here and I'm access to be able to give you that, I'm going to take a look at what price action is doing up here. All right, if it just goes down, then that trade is still valid. All right. Okay, let's take a look at ES. ES went up during London. I do have one position open for the Dow Jones from what I said yesterday. I'm going to keep that position open for now because they're not large positions. So we shall see. We still know that we have this gap that's still down here. Obviously, this market is being manipulated a little bit because we had government shutdown for 42, 43 days, and the markets after this correction still went up. And so obviously if the market comes out later today or tomorrow that the shutdown is over, you know what's going to happen. The market is going to go up, right? So for now, that is your area. Okay, that's a good fib area. Okay, if you're going to trade anything today with indices and you don't have anything open, your goal is to scalp whatever you can, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. This could stay relatively non-moving, waiting for the shutdown votes later today. All right, so there's the Fibonacci's on that. Okay, NQ is up already 151. Sometimes you wonder who buys all this technology stock in the middle of the night. Okay, so we are at a fib level here. Okay, there's the gap there. As long as you can stay under the yellow box, you try to take a couple shorts to the downside. If it breaches the yellow box and you're short, then I would advise you to close. Okay, the Russell. Let me get rid of this. This is our old profit lines that were hit. Okay, so the Russell, so far, so good with respecting that area. Same thing there. And lastly, okay, the YM. Okay, what did they do last night? They did about 90 points. All right, here's the YM. Now remember, this one, the gap did close. So this one wasn't based on the gap, just they had a 600 point day yesterday. Now, we've been up. We have been up 2 straight sessions. So I am anticipating a retracement on this somewhat. Okay, so they left a lot of liquidity right here. This push up right here, a lot of liquidity. That would be the first longer target, which is a good level right there. So if you have not yet shorted the YM, you are in a good area to try to scalp this down from here. Oh, yeah, and I forgot. Okay, lastly, let me take a look at silver. All right, silver is back up to where we discussed the price. We're probably going to try to do a teacup. It did a very small handle, which you can see right here. All right, so for right now, silver is still, you got to stay bullish on silver. I wouldn't try to short this. I wouldn't try to short this, not here. All right, silver, from everything silver's probably going to, go to an all-time high before the end of the year. Jesus. So I would not short silver. Let me get rid of this real quick. Let me take a look at this daily time frame. Yeah, you don't want to short that green candle today. All right, this one has a much stronger momentum right now. All right, there is liquidity up there. So if we take a look at the daily, okay, definitely room to go. So I would actually, tell you to buy silver. Any dips down in silver, you definitely want to buy silver. Now at this point on the daily, up to the 88 point fib area. All right, that's the next level, and they would grab 80% liquidity. So any push down, you would want to continue buying silver. So if you're going to scalp silver today, you're going to see what the market opens, and any push down in this green candle, scalp some points up. All right, that would be the play for that. All right. Z, thanks for grabbing the links. I will update you on some of the currencies a little bit later. I plan to get to hopefully on the flight, I'll be doing a lot of that stuff. But if I see something beforehand, let's let the markets open, and then I'll update you on the currencies or any other links that I get. All right. If you message me and I don't get back to you, it's probably because I'm in the whole airport shuffle, whatever, and then jumping onto an 8.5-hour flight. All right. But we will be in touch. I'll put the recording as soon as I get it back. And if you have any questions, message me. I'll still be home running around doing a couple things before I head out of here. All right. Thanks.